In this video we'll look at how to use the integrated form builder in Macanta for the integrated form type. So just as advanced information, so what we have here is the integrated form builder allows you to create a web form where people can effectively choose which data object that already exists in your Macanta they want to be or should be connected to when they complete the form, and you then specify the relationship. So the easiest example to give here is events. So I've got a data object type here in this account called events, and you can see here I've created a few events here where I am the event admin, and here Erwin, for example, is the attendee. Okay, so what I want to be able to do is I want to give people the opportunity to select online which of these events they want to come to. So I've created a very basic data object type here for this example, but essentially I want people to be able to register for one of these events. But I want a reasonable amount of control over it. So let's go and have a look at how the form builder does that for you. So you get to the form builder by going to admin settings and then into form builder. So we'll start with a new form, and this is going to be our event registration. Okay, so under form type we're going to choose integrated form. And you can see I can then choose which data object type is going to be used here, and it's going to be events. And when someone fills in the form, which relationship do I want them to have to the data object then? And I'm going to go for attendee in this instance. So here we can say register, and again I can have a thank you URL, direct them to another page, or I can just have a message. Thanks for registering. You can now close this page. Okay. So what information do I want to collect when someone registers? Well, I want to have at least their name and their email. So I'll add those in, and I'm going to change this to only have one column, and I'll ask for the name first. Okay. And then under my events, I'm then going to build the structure for what I want to collect there, and let's go and look at that. So what I'll also do is just save this, and it tells you have to add the filters. So let's go for the filters. So if you're familiar with the query builder in Macanta or the advanced search, this is pretty much the same. So we can say, okay, what criteria should an event have to make it available on the list for people to register for? So one criteria that it should have is that the start date should be greater than today. I can't have people registering for yesterday, for example. And then I can also say, okay, but I also want to limit this particular form to only be for the events in London or Manchester. Okay, so I can then apply that filter. I can save. I do also have the option, so if we go back in here, I do also have the option of editing this group and saying I only want one, and then I can say event choice is my group, and I can add that in. Okay, so we save that, and then I can go and collect the code. I'm going to copy it here, and then I am going to enter that on this page, and we'll go and update that. Let's make sure. Looks like I've now got two sets of code up here, so let me just get rid of one and update that. Okay, and then when I go here. So here's my form now that I can fill in, and you can see now I've got these two events because they are in London there. If we go back to our form builder, we do have some more options where I can say, okay, is it going to be displayed as a select button or a radio? I'm going to go for a radio button. I only want you to be able to see the next 4 available events, and I'm going to order it by the event start, and I want to order it ascending, and I'm going to give it a title called event date and place. I can say select your event date and place. So save that there, and then we will save our form, and I can again grab the code, and it has already updated because I use the JavaScript. HTML, of course, it won't do it that way. But you can now see I've got these forms available, these options. So let's go and see what happens if we change the filter on our form. And I'm actually going to take out the, or add, we're happy for it to be all events, apply that and save. And then when I now refresh this page, I've now got my other events that are in the future that's also available there. So I can now go in here and I'm going to say that Sophie's registering, and she wants to go to the event in Berlin. I can click register, comes up with the thank you message, and if I then go back to Macanta and I go and find, first we go and find our events, and we can see here's our Berlin. We've got 2 Berlin events, one the 2nd of May and the other one is the 10th of April, so that's in the past, so that didn't show up on our list. And if I go here now for relationships, I can see Sophie is now attending that event. And then of course when I look at Sophie's record, I can see who else is also attending. So that's how you can use the integrated form type in Macanta to allow people to complete a form and thereby connecting themselves to an already existing data object in your system.